Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Ikhsan Rahadian. Uh, Now I'm gonna make a video about an algorithm. Okay, so algorithm refers to a sequence of finite steps to solve a particular problem. Algorithm can be simple and complex, depending on what you want to achieve. Okay, so it can be understood by taking the example of a cooking a new recipe. To cook a new recipe, one with the instructions and steps and execute them one by one. In a given sequence, the result thus obtained is the new dish cooked perfectly. Every time you use your phone, computer, laptop, or calculator, you're using algorithm. Similarly, algorithm help to do a task in programming to get the expected output. The algorithm design are language independent. They are just plain instructions that can be implemented in any language, and yet the output will be the same as expected. S1 will not follow any written instruction to cook the recipe, but only the standard one. Similarly, not all written instruction for programming is an algorithm. In order for some instructions to be an algorithm, it must have the following characteristic. First, is clear and unambiguous. The algorithm should be clear and unambiguous. Each of its steps should be clear in all aspects and must lead to only one meaning. And well-defined inputs. If an algorithm says to take inputs, it should be well-defined inputs. Then there's well-defined outputs. The algorithm must clearly define what output will be yield, and it should be well-defined as well. Then there's finiteness. The algorithm must be finite. It should terminate after a finite time. Then there's feasible. The algorithm must be simple, generic, and particular, such that it can be executed with the available results. It must not contain some feature, technology, or anything. The last one is language independent. The algorithm design must be language independent. It must be just plain instructions that can be implemented in any language, and yet the output will be the same as expected. So, how to design an algorithm? In order to write an algorithm, the following things are needed as prerequisite. One, the problem that is to be solved by this algorithm is the clear problem definition, and the constraint of the problem must be considered while solving the problems. And the input to be taken to solve the problem, for the output to be expected when the problem is solved. Then the last thing is the solution to this problem is within the given constraint. So this is the block geometry of the algorithm. There's a terminator, process, decision, delay, data, document, multiple documents, and etc. So for the start, we use the terminator. After that, we can use the process, the decision, delay, blah, blah, and at the end, we use the terminator again. So for the example of the block geometry, or for example of the algorithm, I have the example flowchart from my programming. It's firstly start with the terminator, and then input matplotlib, input numpy package, input gravity, and then it's C until the end. We use terminator again, and don't forget the arrow. So that's my video. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.